Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Julian Marivel, your professor of positive communication. In this video series, I share short videos designed to inspire you to communicate more positively at work and at home. Today, I want to draw on a show that I really enjoyed called Sex Education. Maybe you're a fan, maybe you've never watched the show. I strongly recommend that you give it a chance. My wife and I really enjoyed the characters and the storyline. But there's a moment in the show that I want to bring to life a little bit. So one of the character in the story, his name is Michael Grove. When you begin the show, he is the principal of a high school. And he turns out to be a bit of a villain, especially early on in season 1 and 2. You see him really trying to catch kids, trying to engage in really problematic activities. He's just kind of a villain. But slowly he begins to lose everything. He first loses his job, he loses his marriage, he essentially has nothing left. He loses the relationship that he has with his son, and he finds himself completely alone. And of course, that event leads him to transformation. And he begins to see a therapist, and he's trying to harness the power of changing these relationships for the better. And there's a really powerful moment in the show where, after going through all of this, after being principal of the high school, he returns to the high school, but this time as a substitute. You can imagine what it would be like, right? You have failed professionally, you're trying to climb yourself back into being, and now you've got to go to the same place you were working at, but in a completely different role. And in the scene of the movie, he ends up walking in the hallway. And at some point, of course, he feels the emotion that many of us would feel, right? This doubt, this uncertainty, this lack maybe of commitment. And so what he does is he takes a little piece of paper, he puts his hand into his pocket, draws out of the pocket a note. And I want to read you that note. The note says, I am here, I am enough, and I am learning to become a better person. You know, communicating effectively, communicating well is not just about the way you interact with other people. It's also very much about the way you talk to yourself. We call that intrapersonal communication, communication within ourselves. And that moment to me exemplifies the power of self affirmation. We're going to venture out, we're going to face doubt, we're going to face uncertainty. Sometimes we don't know what to say, sometimes we don't know what to think, but we can give ourselves a chance by really holding on to a compass. Maybe it's a sentence, maybe it's a few words, and those words become a guiding presence, a guiding start. For him, it's I am here, I am enough, and I am learning to become a better person. And the moment he says it, it makes all of the doubt disappear. It makes all of the tension disappear. And he takes one step ahead and moves in the direction of his better self. I hope you can do the same. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you really everywhere.